Hello everybody and welcome to part 5 of Assaltya. There's a couple things I want to change before we move on. I had selected Circus here because it's maintenance free, and while that's true, I've already explained how happiness is likely to not be a problem for some time to come. Meanwhile, the capital is going to be busy for a while, so we're going to need some more military here since we're coming up on military caste soon enough. So let's go with warrior. We are about to get some iron, more iron that we know what to do with. And then the other thing I wanted to fix is our military is moving away here, so we're not going to be here to pilfer a worker. We have plenty of workers, and if they should build military and come invade us, we're not going to be able to resist it. And look at this. They're actually ripe for tribute, so we get some money. Oh, yeah, when I was talking about military moving away, I wasn't even thinking about this, but enslave a worker. That actually, today I learned something. If you're waiting for a city-state to give you one last worker and they won't, just make peace and force them to give you a worker. Interesting.
Boss.
Oh yeah, we were waiting to see how, if Hanoi would give us an African forest elephant, how that would time up with this, but I didn't hear, I don't see a new unit here. I imagine what it happens is like at the end of your turn it counts up, you get credit for the tech, then it becomes Hanoi's turn. So if it did go that way, I imagine we would have gotten what we wanted, what we came for at that point in time. Alright, we got some prompts here. Ooh, at the end of the last episode I was saying we could walk this guy somewhat away because if he had to come back he could. So looks like he does come back, and even though we're not playing tradition, best practice is always move your unit into the city tile before bombarding. Even if it's something like you want to move through the city, stop, do your bombard, and then go, just so that when it does matter, you're already in the habit of it. Palanque demands whales. There are whales down here, so that is coming, just not anytime soon. Okay, Nimrod grows to 3 pop. Assur gets a new citizen, but those extra hammers do not finish the Writers Guild, and that's fine. Budapest targets nearby encampment. And that just so happens to be an encampment we are working towards. And I'll tell you what, let's have this ranged come and do it. I was going to have the first one over here, but keep in mind our non-siege tower units are for the purpose of crowd control. And since our melee is already on what would be the front line, and he's like right behind them, let's save him for that. He's coming over. He's coming over to heal up in the city tile. He's right behind this guy. Let's see, what are we researching next? I think it's going to be currency because we're working our way to civil service. One thing we could do also is look at the turns, 7, 7, 7. If one of these had more than the other, it would suggest the ones with fewer have been researched by others. And therefore we shouldn't take them because we could capture them. It doesn't really apply here because since Korea's capital is coastal, our first 2 captures will probably be these techs, which is a little unfortunate, but it might end up being that those are the only techs we could get from them, so we should just continue to research on the path we would without them, I think. Okay, there's some happiness. Speaking of happiness. Alright, so we gave Palanque another 3 food tile. Don't know if they would go for another one if we gave it to them. But more importantly is we're going to be 4 pop very soon. So I think it might be time to get started on the roads here. Worst case scenario is 4 pop takes on the horses here. The reason why I want to get the roads started is when you have a city connection you get money back. It's based on the population of the city and your capital. So in this case it would be Palanque and our capital. But it's almost always, it's like usually more than 1 per. So since it would take 4 tiles of road and this would be 4 pop, it would be a minor profit, and then just grow from there as the city grows. However, all our workers are kind of busy. I know this one just finished up, but since we're about to populate this and we're on our way to civil service, I think getting one of these grassland farms developed is important. I know it says 25 turn till border growth, but obviously once we fill this up, that's going to be significantly reduced. So let's have this guy come down, and what we're going to do is pre-build the roads. I don't know if you saw, I clicked on it too soon. It said there was going to be 3 turns to go. So we click on it now. Next turn it'll say 2 turns to go. The turn after it'll say 1 turn to go. So rather than finish, we'll come here, make it to where it says 1 turn to go, and so on. And that way we're not paying maintenance on a finished road while we're taking 9 turns to do other road tiles. Instead, it'll end up being that this will be the first one we finish. Then, you know, we're paying for that as we finish this, pay for these while we finish this. So it'll be what, like 3 turns, 4 turns. So there's that. He can come down and help with this guy. I should have explained that before I clicked. He's heading over to home. We are about to get iron. So there's that. Okay, so we have this situation here. The spearman can come down and be the melee for this camp to deliver the final blow and clear it out. He can step forward. We see a garrisoned worker in undeveloped stone. That's a interesting combination there. And then he can come up here and he can come up here. I normally don't like to be this ostentatious with our presentation because we might get prompted, hey, are you here for war or not? And you usually should tell the truth. We're playing a game where diplomacy is not that important because, you know, after him, we're going to go after him anyway, so who's going to know? But also, we've already told him off and denounced him, so even if we were playing for diplomatic preservation, we're already set up for that. And he now has 4 cities. He had 3 cities at the end of the last turn. I was actually looking at the map while I was talking, so this just got planted, and he's bombarding this camp. Unfortunately, it's going to take him a number of turns to clear this out, which means this guy's going to be out doing who knows what. I don't think sticking our scout around just to be able to scoop the camp is worthwhile, especially since we have the scouting promotion. So let's keep on cruising, see if we can find out what's next after Korea, if and it's not Venice. Okay, so at the end of the last part, I was talking about how we could waste a turn here, but we don't need to waste a turn here. We can actually waste a turn because we're waiting for the borders to grow so we can buy this tile and have like all the best tiles here. But we'll just pre-build a road here because when it is time for roads, this is the likely path. It's 5 tiles here, 6 tiles here, so don't have to waste any time actually. Okay. Uh-oh. Oh, okay, no SpaghettiOs today. Alright, I was thinking we were going to have to upgrade him to finish that off, but nope, we get to keep our cotton. That's pretty good. Okay, we'll buy this tile now. It's strictly a better tile than that one, so we'll do that. Granaries next turn. We're going to have to keep an eye, because this will be 3 food at that point. When it's appropriate, we'll switch this over to there and grow into that and get the faith anyways. Monument is finished here, so on to Shrine. Writers Guild is finished, so we got 13 culture per turn, next policy in 13 turns, border growth in 24. Take this off here, put them in there, and now we have 19 culture per turn, next policy in 9, only 10 turns till border growth. Of course, turn till a new citizen is severely impacted. Unfortunately, we're going to have to wait for civil service to compensate. There's some iron. It says he wants some. We are currently needing 3 of it for ourselves because we were building a warrior here. So I wouldn't want to sell more than 3 here. Let's see.
Salut.
If he's willing to give us full value, it's exactly 3, but we did kill Pakal, so he is willing to give us full value. Nice. Okay, and he only wants 2. So that's a nice little middle ground there. Since we're getting full value for it, why not, right? Okay, so the reason why at the top of the series I was talking about the capital being busy for a while is I think this would be a good time to build the national epic. As we get more cities, it's going to take more time to do this, and this will expedite our production of great people in the city, as well as provide another great worker writing slot. And that's fine, because we're never going to run out of writing slots. All of our puppets are going to build royal libraries. The national epic actually comes with one. So, yeah, and it's going to take some time, unfortunately, which means this guy's on the sideline. But since I was talking about chopping down these forests anyways for grassland, that should expedite that. I just hope that chopping these forests down actually gets the governor to want one of them. It's second tile river, so I think it will trump all these other options. We could also do this one, but this one's plains. So I at least want to get one grassland up just to get this city booming again. We're going to have lots of happiness, or so it would seem. Okay, let's see here. You know what? We could probably have both of these guys since it's going to take him 2 turns to get up here, and 2 turns he's here, which means pop, pop, spearman's probably enough to clear the camp. We can move this guy here to make way for this guy, and that way we don't actually have to move this guy. We can actually heal him up. He's only missing a few points, but why not? And then let's fortify this guy on the off chance that he does say, hey, what you doing here? We'll be as armored up as we can since we are within bombard range. He's on this hill. That sucks. Okay, no big deal. It is nice that we met incense. We did just get asked for incense. Because Budapest and Malacca and Hanoi all have silver, and Byblos has wine, which is what we have in the capital. So it is nice to see something non-silver that we might be able to make use of at some point. Okay, so he gets started on the camp. These guys are coming over. See, it says 2 turns to go, so we'll click interrupt so that we're manually asked to issue another command, and then we'll just continue pre-building all the tiles until it's time to finish them up. We could have this guy come down and help, but I think getting this cleared and, you know, grassland farm, at least one, is something we need to do. So I'm going to keep eyes over here. Yeah, Budapest is actually trying to clear the camp themselves, so the ability to take it out in one fell swoop seems kind of useful. It says new unit from Hanoi. So let's see, get this guy up here. May purchase with faith. Alright. So, normally in these situations I purchase a missionary because our pantheon is responsible for a lot of our faith gain. And if you take a look at this city here, it says 5 followers of the pantheon, 0 followers of the religion. Currently 6 pop total. So let's imagine a scenario where it says 3 followers of the pantheon, 3 followers of the religion. Even though that religion came from and imparts that pantheon, there's technically no majority at that point. So we would have no Earth Mother in the city, and we would lose this 3 faith per turn. And actively spreading the religion bypasses that awkward window, and in this case would give us a missionary with another charge that we could, you know, do whatever we needed to with it. However, I'm seeing it's only 6 turns until another prophet, and we were a little late getting to religion, so I think it might be better, especially since we can see this is 5 and 0 currently. We're, you know, it's going to be a number of turns before we are in that awkward situation. So maybe we just wait for this, and then the next time we can purchase, we will get a missionary spread here and wherever else we might need to. Trespassing in Buenos Aires, losing grasp on Hanoi, new unit from Hanoi. And that new unit is not an African forest elephant. Okay. I think I've been in this situation before, and I think it rings a bell that somebody had said something like, you have to be allied and have the tech to guaranteed get the unit. Otherwise, you're just given something. But I'll tell you what, having a horseman at this point, we have lots of horses that we're not using. And at this point in the game, horses make better scouts than scouts. And because we saw a hand axe down here, we know, because we have the honor opener, the camp's not on any of these tiles. We should go looking for it, because it's an opportunity for more culture for us. So yeah, having this horse is actually somewhat timely now. These guys are coming down, because when we do find the camp, we're going to want to beat it up. So there's that. Next turn he'll heal, trying to consume the iron as much as possible so we don't forget that it's all spoken for at this point. Korea, not all spoken for. We got one more that's not. Korea founds a religion. Look at this. Okay, so the fishing boats is a really good pantheon for this city. Presumably this is developed, so let's say 1 hammer here, that's 2. Once this is developed, 4, 7. So the city is limited to 7 unless we build like lumber mills, whereas this is +2 from 7. That's what, 28% I think. give or take. So yeah, that's a pretty significant increase in production. The religion itself is kind of crappy though. And now it's probably pressuring some of these midpoints. Yeah. I mean, we're going to be conquering this and then this. So this will be out of the picture. But nevertheless, there's some shared pressuring going on. We do have the lead, as we can see here, because we already have one follower. So my initial instinct is that we're not going to want to squash this religion out. On the other hand, we do know that we have to annex this at some point. It's going to be our only coastal city that we know of thus far, and we are playing continents, so we are going to need a navy at some point. Scout, figure out a place to jump to the next continent, yada yada. And if this is annexed, of course, we are going to want to buy a mosque in it at some point, since our religion has mosques. So I guess the plan of attack here would just be try to let it keep its pantheon for as long as possible. It's pressuring these cities too, I think. Yeah, it's within range. It looked like it probably was. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, just in range. Wow. And this is the diagonal. Oh, I was counting around 2, 4, 6, 7. Yeah. All right. So the faster we can conquer all these cities, the better, so that its religion isn't pressuring anything except for things we're also pressuring. Alright, I think I have a plan. Okay, granary is finished here. 4 turns till next growth. Let's get on the library. I don't know if watermill is going to be overkill in that city. Here, this will speak for our last iron. As for this warrior, our units are for the purpose of crowd control. The spearmen will probably be our melee part of the death squad in the east. We haven't met anybody else yet over here, so if you can picture what we can see, minus Korea, there's a lot of open land here. It'll probably be camp after camp spawning, especially if we're extinguishing them as fast as we can find them. So he's kind of spoken for, and then we have these 2 guys here. When it comes time for military cast, let's presume 1 station here, 1 station here. So we're not going to have a good melee representation down here. I think maybe having this guy start heading in that direction might be useful, especially since there is a camp here. Although with this city here, I don't know how we make use of that in a useful way. We could go around, but I imagine that's going to take too long. Anyway, so that's the path. Let's see here. If we step and upgrade, we can step here, step here, step here, step here. That's a really good pathing. So yeah, step and upgrade is the way to go. Okay, let's get this chopping going. He's going in there to heal up. He's coming up here to help the war, but also probably pitching on this camp. We really do need to clear this in 1 turn, just because this guy's waiting to clear it. And we would like the credit, because if we can't clear it in 1 turn, then we're limited to literally putting a shot in it and then cleaning it up next turn. We don't want to damage it too much, or otherwise he could just take it over. Alright, so see it says 1 turn to go. That means we're going to get off this tile and then pre-build the next tile and erupt, so that we can continually manually issue the command. Okay, so this is actually pretty opportunistic, so I think now is the time we need to jump. Yeah, we're on this side of the river. Here's a river bombard range. It's not penalty free. However, he does have a number of pillageable. I was going to say pillaged and then tried to correct myself, but pillageable is a nice save there. Tiles along the river here. 2 swordsmen crossing over pillage step, or something. Something like that. So, since we know we're going to declare war anyways, let's see if we can get more out of it. This is the only guy we can shop with. He's not wanting to give us money. Maybe he'll give us diplomacy. Okay. I was just researching that option because I believe when you enter into a joint war, the person on your side, the other person on your side, likes you more because you've fought a common enemy, or however it's worded. Alrighty, so the next thing to do is see what the penalty, or the cost, I should say, of going to war. I think our duplicate gold is being sent to Venice, so getting gold back would make up from the happiness loss of the crabs, and then it's 6 gold per turn. So let's take a look here. We're exactly at 6 gold, so that sucks, but tolerable, and I was right about the gold. So these terms are perfectly acceptable. Okay. There goes our gold per turn. Luckily we have a bit of a reserve, especially since we were able to tribute Byblos. So let's see, we're definitely going to want to step and shoot. Okay, there's that, and there's that. Hey, great general. All right. So let's see. This is probably the most direct path. Thank you, road, for timing this out better. Yep. It's gonna take some turns, but we're ready. This guy can't come jump in, and yeah, we're in bombard range. But like I said, this formation means we'll cross the river in a useful manner. Okay, we can keep on. Oh, yeah, another city-state, and another non-silver, and another elite luxury, so nice. These guys are way out here, though, so I don't know how we're supposed to be able to impress them. Sugar. Do we plant another city just to get closer to these guys? That doesn't seem like a great idea. Oh, that's everything for this turn. Okay, here we go. Let's see what happens. Nice. That's actually somewhat poetic, I think. It looks really nice. Losing grasp on Malacca. Awesome. Once we lose ally status with them, we tribute them, and then Hanoi likes us again. So yeah. Built in a faraway land. Okay, there's that. 3 turns to go. Plus happiness. Look at that. We're not making any of these trades just because losing Malacca. Let's see, we'll lose 8 happiness, but then bully them. They become ally for a bit. We gain silver, so that's +4. Overall, -4. But I want to wait till that transition is finished. Yep, Great General exists, so we always want to move it first. He's coming down here. Oh, this is going to time out nicely. He can cross the road next turn, or river. And he can cross the river here. They can fan out, figure out what's going on. Maybe we can figure out where he wants to cross, or we just cross generically. So over here, we're doing all right. He's getting started on the... let's see. Let's get into the city tile, then we can upgrade, then we can heal. I want to kill our visibility. Normally, I'd try to have as much visibility as possible, but since we have the honor opener, we want as little visibility as possible so that we can keep the culture train running. It sure would have been nice to be able to step here, right, because this hill. But this is coast, so we're possibly at the end of the line anyways. I hesitate to speak on it. Okay, let's see here. We're looking at about 36, about 36, about 35. That should be a clean kill. Oh yeah, looks good. Alright, and I don't know if you noticed, it was projecting this path rather than this path. And the reason for that is this path we would have gotten more flanking bonus. Oh wait, no, that's not true. I think you get flanking bonus wherever. But by coming from here, we get the bonus of having an adjacent unit as outlined by this honor policy. So this was the stronger path anyways. Not the point, though. Over here, the main event, encampment cleared for Budapest. So let's just check in with them real quick because they're also militaristic. Janissary. Wow. I think that's more towards like rifling or something. Flaters. That much I'm certain of. Alrighty, so of these two, this one's strongest, so he's the one that gets our shot. Let's cross the river, cross the river. Nice and clean. We don't see anybody else, which means, yes, the bombard's going to hurt. What we got here? Swordsman. Damn, too much information. Should have checked before. Bombarded. Oh. Bombarded on? That's a weird way to put it. Attacked your swordsman, your swordsman was bombarded by the enemy. Okay, there we go. Third entry, 22 damage. So just enough to keep up with pillage step. Let's see, he's 51, he's 55, so I'll likely aim for this one, which is a little unfortunate because this one actually has more tiles available to it. And this one wants to stay as healthy as possible because maybe he's able to creep over and help with Busan. What are you going to do? Might as well cross the river here. Pre-build, interrupt, heal. Alright, so here we go. Worker is available. Interesting. Alrighty, so let's see. He gets cover. All the more reason why it would have been nice. Okay. I was trying to see if these two pillaging and swapping made sense, but no, because then the weak one gets zone of control, and then we run out of options. Two archers. One came from over here, presumably. This one just got created, presumably. So that means we're going to get beat up a little bit more. That's extremely unfortunate. He crosses the river now, which means next turn he can... Let's get the Great General before I forget. Next turn, which means if we had combo here, he could step and shoot, which means we'd really like this guy to pillage, step here. But then the problem is that, well, he does have cover, so, but he's going to get hit by 3 sources, and we do not want to pillage this if we can avoid it. That's happiness upon capture. Although it's starting to look like we might have to, right? Because we know we want to cross the river here so that we can get started on the city right away. Which means this is the only tile available, unless we decide to do a full-on hasty retreat kind of situation. It would kind of be nice to have a swordsman to help over here, since we're doing only 1 siege tower. But I don't think it's necessary. So maybe we step here after the pillage to draw fire, and then next turn we could step pillage and then like get out of the way or something. That's really difficult. What if he pillage stepped here, next turn goes here? No, because this guy's going to be there. Okay. It's really unfortunate that it played out that way. No longer friends with Hanoi, and he did Parthenon, which does come with an art slot, but is filled. Okay. Basically, we're just trying to keep an eye on wonders that have art slots, because we are going to get the Artist Guild way before we get the build. I've never understood this about this game. If you want to do art, you have to kind of play the wonder game, and I don't know how in line we are for that. Okay, that does not seem to have influenced the governor, although I've seen at times where it says the wrong thing. We know that we're going to be upgrading him. He comes here to start on the camp. It says 2 turns. Let's see if this makes it 1. It does not. So what I'll do with this guy is actually interrupt him, so we're prompted again, and hopefully that reminds us to make that change next turn. Alright. So he's coming over. Unfortunately, it takes him 2 turns to get across the river regardless, so he can't really help with Busan, at least not right away. He crosses the river here. He comes over here onto the hill where it's safer. Although, seeing this worker, maybe it would have made more sense to come here. I just want to be available, but I don't think we're going to need him. He's going to be more Death Squad material. Could be wrong about that. Alright, so this is just an unfortunate situation. We know for sure we're going to pillage with this guy, Step. And worse, yeah, we have to pillage just to stay alive. So then the question is, do we step out to get redeemed, or do we risk up here? Because if we do come up here, we're going to get triple hit. We would have to pillage and then step here, because he's going to step and shoot. Alright. I really didn't want to pillage this, but it's looking like it's necessary, because the only other thing is we come out of here and then we get double pelted and we're just going to have to run away altogether. I suppose from here we wouldn't have to pillage. We could step here and just go ahead and make him the human monument over there. We could fortify here, get hit, then pillage step. We don't need to be drawing fire from Seoul, though. Ah, man, this is a tough decision. Alright, let's take a look at this. 25%, whereas his own improvement is only 15. So at least we'd be better defended here. Triple hit with cover. So that's like 30. Oh, significant. I was thinking it was only like 10. Okay. Okay, we don't have a choice. We either get double pelted on less defense or triple pelted on more defense. I don't want to lose any swordsmen. We don't actually have so many units that we can afford to do that. Alright, he's crossing the river. We know that. This tile's fully pre-built, so we move along. Cross the river there. Cross the river there. Come down here so we have multiple options for crossing the river. Alright. Fingers crossed. Please don't die. Okay. Wow. That is sort of a good news, bad news situation. Oh, crap. I only just now realized this is a quadruple pelt. We are lucky we didn't get shot from this guy. We would have been... Oh, wow. That was a huge mistake and no punish. Bombarded by the city of Busan. Okay, so we're only going to get hit for 10 by Busan. So I'm thinking pillage step here. He could step and shoot. Yeah. Which means we hold off on that? No, there's no reason to. This adds extra flank if nothing else. Okay, so step, shoot, pillage. Ooh, double cover. Just in time, yeah. Pillage, kill. Alright. Worst case scenario, we just come over here to escape. Alright, so now that means we can actually bring 2 archers into here, because this city's not going to hit this, because we're doing this. So let's fortify. Better yet, just to make sure we do get hit, let's not fortify. Let's do a little dance for visibility. There we go. Alright. So he's coming over to hopefully help with Seoul, which is a lot easier to act on than what we got going on in Busan. Okay, Nineveh grows. And I'll tell you what, since we got the guild up here, let's go ahead and work this tile instead. Instead, it's 8 turns to grow instead of 9. 2 turns here instead of the 1. That's unfortunate. Budapest seeks a great artist. He's no longer ally of Malacca. So let's go ahead. Should have done this before I did the hit. But we're still good. So let's go ahead and tribute them. Now Hanoi is in love with us. Ally status. Maybe we get an African war elephant. Let's see here. It's only going to be for 8 turns, and we did just get a unit. So I'm going to go out on a limb and say not likely. Yet another city-state over here. What do you have? Incense. Okay, so duplicate with Buenos Aires. There looks like there's more over here. So let's try and occupy this hill and see what we can find. Let's see. We're already done with the main event. Okay. Let's see. 1, 2. Oh, we found it already. Okie dokie. Well, then let's see. We would want him to go here. Doesn't matter where he crosses. Alright, and we'll just keep this guy handy. It's a spearman. We don't want to keep him like that handy. Let's see. If we were here, we could say 1, 2, 3, 4. Get some visibility. Not so necessary. We can see this a coast, and clearing the camp will get that. So let's just pull back. Horse would have been a great way to snag another worker, but like I said, I do believe we have enough workers for the time being. Although the fact that this guy's got nobody to help him build the roads, yeah, that's a little sad. Okay, so let us... There was a worker buzzing around here. Let's heal. There's a worker here too, so it's not like we have to worry about anything. That should be the last turn for that. I forgot to move the Great General first. Luckily, this turn it didn't matter. Let's come over and do this. What's the governor saying now? Hey, he does favor it. Fantastic. Okay, so if we chop this down, it'll probably be a toss-up between these two. Nice. Okay. So camp, and now it says 1 turn to go, so we go like this to get that extra 3 food. Remember, when it populates, it's going to come here and then count up the faith, so we're not actually going to lose it. I'll highlight him so I don't forget to move him, and we pass the turn and hope our swordsman doesn't get killed by Busan. He didn't. He just got scratched, which is lovely.
Banner is bred with a happy heart.
Currency is here. So that means our puppets can build markets and whatnot. Tikal demands spices. Nineveh grows to 4 pop. There we go. Here's that. And here's that. Okay. Oh! We didn't want to actually cross the river. this will be captured before he can even get involved. So luckily 1-2, 1-2, same thing. We want him coming around here. So Zhang has made peace with Malacca, but of course. Okay, so on to civil service. We finish one of these camps. 14 to 11. Knocked a few turns off of that. I'm just going to put the swordsman on alert. He's just ready to be human monument. That's what it comes down to. Alright, let's pre-build that last tile. Maybe it would have been beneficial to bring this worker here and come down to help, but it's quite a long... And that guy seems to have fine. We'll be paying a couple gold. Not gold per turn, but gold for that. So that's fine. Look at this. A warrior wants to come and play, huh? Interesting. Okay, so City of Busan, 10. Seems pretty consistent. Seems safe. So let's run this guy away so he can be the human monument over here. And by still being in range, he'll draw fire for this turn. And that allows us to have 2 ranged here, right? Let's see. About 42. About 42. 128. That's a full capture. Can we really do it this turn? No. You dog. Getting me all psyched. So what we will probably do is have him next turn hop up on the hill in preparation of slapping Soul. Have one or both of the archers weaken this and have him capture it. Because remember, if it gets down to 1, you can't die in a counterattack. It's like a guaranteed capture. Okay, well, even though this guy's not fully healed, we need him to come over here. He cannot step and shoot, so let's not get within bombard range, even though it looks like we'd be safe to do it. He's going to pillage and step here. Oh, I'm very pleased to see we have multiple pillage options. I don't know if he would dare do all of that, but worst case scenario, we come here to quote-unquote run away, and then we start actively healing as we make our way back. Where is the siege tower in all this? Okay, so if he does move to the hill here, it's not the best threat. Alright. We'll cross the river. He's going to come here. He comes here. Step shoot. Next turn. Alright. Step on this hill. End of the line. Fantastic. So that means we can keep on going. Unfortunately, he has taken this tile from us, so we can't do anything there. Although we're seeing coast here. We see coast here. So this may very well be the end of the line as far as this area of this continent. That would be enormous if we were to... okay. Alright, so we'll take a peek. Korean ship. That sucks, because that means once we do capture this, one of these is going to get plundered. Which means we're going to need to keep our combos here to be able to shoot it down. We have no way to act upon the water yet. And once we capture, there's going to be resistance, so it's not like we can annex it and immediately buy a boat to try and defend. Okay, so this is the big surprise I was kind of hoping for this episode. I want this city to try for Petra. We're going to want to be working the copper and the gold anyways. So there's some extra hammers and food. And then, of course, there's this desert sheep here. I think that's going to be the extent of the benefits of Petra as far as land yields. But keep in mind, building a big project like this also comes with the culture, the archaeologist point, or engineer point, excuse me, and the free, as in no maintenance, caravan, the increase in number of trade routes. So it's not just that we'd get 3 food and 3 hammers, although the sheep would become a super tile, and these would be highly serviceable. So yeah, I want to try for Petra here. The growth here has been amazing. It's going to improve a little bit with civil service, and because the next pop goes here, our production is going to be really high. So yeah, I want to go for Petra here. Let me know what you guys think. I thought you guys might be excited because I try to play without wonders, But I was looking at it and I was like, yeah, I would get yelled at if I didn't at least try. So the question here is, do we get away with one shot or two? Oh, crap. I should not have moved him away before I did the shot. Now it will almost certainly take two, right? Let's see. Yeah. Whereas if I had left him here taking a shot, we might have gotten away with one. Okay. There we go. Sailing. Big surprise there. View city. It does have a shrine. Raise city. 2 turns. So we will use 1 turn. Well, actually 2 turns to heal him up, and then we'll have him go be the human monument over here. Although we'll have human monuments sooner than I expected, so maybe not. Let's see. Well, I'll tell you what, since he's on the hill here, he can move here. We move off the hill, he moves. Or we come here, use that turn to heal, cross, and then we're threatening double slap across these 2 tiles. Okay. Well, if we move here and pillage just to keep this guy alive, we do want this guy to stay in range to be a patsy because we don't want them shooting at this. Obviously, it would be greatly reduced. The hill doesn't matter because they don't benefit from that, but they do have double cover. But we need them to be not shooting at that. So, and I don't want to step here. Well, I could fortify here. Well, no, because that would defeat the purpose. Okay, so let's move out of the way here and let's take a free shot. And who knows, him being here, maybe they'll actually attack this. It's possible. I wouldn't want that, but it's possible. And for that reason, maybe I shouldn't have done it that way. Because it's not like the free shot's going to matter. Alright, this city's going to be growing soon enough. Let's get a river farm going here. Let's see. He was just produced. So maybe he's the human monument here. Or we start heading over here with this guy. Horse, human monument. Alright, so we're going to be short 1 person as far as these lands, but... Alright, so he retreats to there. Or maybe we go over to Palanque. Or maybe we have him go to Nineveh, him come down. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Okay. Alright, because my thinking is one of these guys can relax here, like maybe the melee and the range can go off and for whatever camp pops up next. Alrighty. Might as well just keep on this path. We can start angling this way in case we need help. Can't imagine we would, but I'm just actually going to tell him to finish the road because everything else is pre-built. There's no need to keep issuing the command there. Okay, we are way past the half-hour mark. Got this city down, so good enough time to stop as any. I hope you guys are enjoying the series. I want to thank you for joining me. Please leave a like and subscribe, and any comments you have as far as Petra and whatnot. You guys have a nice day, and I'll see you in the next part. Take care.